Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Uh-huh. So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Your favorite podcast is Critical Blast.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 9th and 10th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish. They're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
And I'm Scott Wakefield, host of Silverline's Wednesday Wham, where we talk about comic books and all kinds of great storytelling, sometimes with incredible guests. And we want you to join us Wednesday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you there.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Stands at the precipice of victory or defeat. These are the times that try men's souls. Will the British be expelled from Boston, the birthplace of the Revolution? Can you help turn the tide of the war? The American Crisis, War in the North, is the first full-length campaign guide by Nations and Cannons, a historical TTRPG setting for 5e. With new backgrounds, equipment, and additional character class options, like the courageous drummer or the fearsome Jaeger. Explore the 18th century American Northeast, introducing new playable characters with heroic key moments, like David Bushnell, inventor of the first combat submarine, and Polly Cooper, the Oneida woman who saved Washington's army. Meet real historical figures like Henry Knox, Molly Brant, Peter Salem, and others who risked everything. Don't throw away your shot. Support our Kickstarter today.
Hi, and welcome to the Kickstarter. I am Roland Mann, and I'm the chief cook and bottle washer at Silverline Comics, a genre-spanning independent comic and graphic novel publisher, and I'm here to tell you about...
Sorry, Roland. We're taking over on this one. It is time to announce the next Kickstarter campaign by Silverline Comics with a continuation of 2 of the stories you've all been waiting for, Steam Patriots number 2 and
Beyond the Stars, number 2 of 6 by Ron Fortier.
tell us about it.
All right. Beyond the Stars is a story that follows a team of science warriors that help the All-Mother in an intergalactic battle to save mankind. Scott, tell me about Steam Patriots number 2.
Steam Patriots is a continuation of Felix Ward's story where steampunk meets the American Revolution. If you read his adventure in number 1, you wondered what's going to happen next? Well, here's your chance.
You're going to love it. They're going to love it. I'm just telling you. They're going to love it.
And what's up, everybody? Yes, currently I am flying solo, so I hope you will leave some comments so that I can respond to them. I think Jose is on his way. That rhymed, didn't it? Jose is on his way. Before he gets here, we're going to go ahead and talk about the Kickstarter. One of the things that people sometimes ask me is like, hey, how can I find the Kickstarter? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because I'm going to show you. So if you just go to Kickstarter, this is what will show up for you. It's what showed up for me. And I am going to type in, wait, where did it go? Okay. Oh, here we go. I'm going to go to the search bar right here. See a little search? And I'm going to type in Silverline and watch what comes up. Power Rangers. There we go. Silverline, the first thing that comes up right there, Beyond the Stars 1 and 2, Steam Patriots 1 and 2. You click right there, and it will take you right to our campaign where you can see we are sitting at 60 backers at 1,000. Oh, Dave, I see Dave now. Dave, I'm about to send you the link because I forgot to send you the link. Give me 2 seconds. I apologize for that, Dave. Oh, my goodness, my bad. I am jumping over to Facebook right now, Dave, and I will send you the link there. Man, I just flat forgot. Sorry about that. There's the link. You got it. Come join me. And anyway, we are standing at Comics and Undies. Stop it, Vic. We are standing at 1,833. We're not quite halfway to the goal yet, so we need you to jump over there and give us a look. Pledge if you can, and if you can't, well, you know, you can always share. So you can absolutely do that. Share it with people that you know who like comic books. So Vic's first question here. I'm going to see how can I remove this. Here we go. Here I am. Vic says 2 of 6. That's going to be the longest running Silverline title, right? Oh, you're meaning issue 2 out of 6. Yes, that will be the longest running Silverline title. You're absolutely right. 6 issues is the most we do. I don't normally like to do 6 issues because that's a long investment for folks. That will absolutely make a good meaty graphic novel though when we're done. So it's going to be a nice, feel good in your hands. You can always make this the second Vic takeover. Shoot, Vic, you're not on Facebook, are you? Comics and Undies. So Vic, I gotta remember you're on Twitter, aren't you? I got too many of these things. I'll send you a link, Vic. You want to join us here? Sorry. Jose does tell me he is on the way, so I've got to assume that he's not pulling my chain, and he will be on the way. But I will go ahead and give this note to self: cut Centaur Circuit from 6 issues. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's the problem with that. When you're an independent, like we are, it's tough to move 6 issues with most customer bases. A lot of them, they don't feel like they want to commit to 6 issues. It's commitment issues. Pop says, what? He gets that early notification. Oh, is there an early note? I didn't know there was an early notification. But 3 issues, 4 issues, most fans, most readers, most customers feel that they can commit to 3 or 4 issues. And so it's easier to get them to stick with you for the long haul. A 6-issue miniseries, it's very easy to lose your readers after the first issue. Every issue the orders seem to cut in half. Absolutely right, and that's part of the problem. If you've got 6 of them, you can imagine they just reduce and reduce and reduce and reduce, and so it gets very tough. Pops, you missed the first part of it when I said I am here by myself temporarily. I absolutely forgot to send Dave, who is joining me now. What's up, Dave? Man, I am so sorry. You know what? You and I talked about this, and I just flat forgot to send you the link, dude.
Hey, no problem. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. I had to mute the Facebook side of it.
Oh yeah. You gotta mute Facebook and YouTube or whatever else you might have on, because you'll get nasty echoes. You look like you're kind of sitting in the shadows there. So
yeah, don't have a
what
light.
What is up, sir?
I've just been working on the Demon Tales stuff. So
sweet. That's what I wanted to hear. By the way, for those of you who might be listening to our audio only podcast, I am Roland Mann. Tim TK is normally the host, but he is still on his Silverline vacation. He has one more week of that. I will fill in for him again next week, and I've got some exciting news to tell you all about next week. Not going to be what I initially said it was going to be. It's going to be something different, and it's very exciting. But he's got one more, and then he's going to return from his Silverline vacation and resume his helm here. So Dave, tell people who you are. Tell people how you and I know each other. Tell people a little bit about yourself there.
My name's David Rios. I worked at Malibu Graphics many moons ago. So that's our shared history.
It is.
That did a lot of the Ultraverse books. I actually did some very early inking project with the Malibu books, particularly with a backup for story inside of the Zillion comic book.
Really? I don't think I knew that. Were you with Bruce?
No, it was a friend of mine. We did a 4-page backup story in there. It was his name was Richard Jordan, not the writer.
Not the writer.
But yeah, we did that. We also did some local stuff with a comic book company that comic book store we used to work with. But that was early days before the coloring stuff. And
wow, you know what? I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember Brazilian, because Brazilian was probably 87, 88 maybe.
No, it was actually, I think it was later than that.
Was it really? Okay, all right. Yeah, I do remember it. So you worked inking stuff before actually coming on to Malibu. How did you get to Malibu then? To be as part of the department?
Every day coming in, talking with Mike Giles, and checking, were they hiring? There was, they brought some people in. There was, then it was on hold, and just a lot of back and forth. Just kept, continually trying, and then I actually had moved to Texas, but I still had kept going and submitting, and ended up coming back to California. And one day Mike goes, you've every day you've reached out to me. Every single day. I got no choice, but I got to hire you. So I came in on that and started doing some stuff. You know, I did some of the.
Do you remember the first book you worked on?
First book, I believe, was Prime.
Wow.
It
Okay.
was one of the. It was the introduction of Primeval.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
And I remember I had a panel on my page that had like a close up of his face, and I had to put all this detail inside of his face
Cool.
and all that stuff. But I did some of the Marvel stuff. I did some Star Trek stuff. We were doing like the Deep Space Nine things like
Right.
that. I originally started on the night shift and then eventually moved into the day shift.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I tell people that that Malibu had, I don't remember exactly how many computers we had, but I remember telling people that before, you know, we had a certain amount of computers.
Enough
and those
to warn
computers,
armed guards.
Those computers were busy nonstop. We had an 8-hour shift, a day shift, an 8-hour evening shift, and then an 8-hour night shift. And we literally had people on those machines nonstop. And I still remember at the time that blowing my mind, going, "Wow, we keep those machines busy," you know. And I remember those were the most powerful machines in the office. And the cool thing I remember is that everybody at Malibu had a computer, right? I mean, everybody had a computer of some sort, but you guys always had the most powerful computers in the building because you were dealing with maybe some of the designers like Anchin and Jennifer and some of those, they might have had, you know, a notch above you, but I know you guys always had the top notch computers in the company.
Yeah, it was. We were working off of Mac Quadra 900s, I believe, towers.
Yeah.
We were transferring, you know, between the stations because it was SneakerNet back then. We were transferring with those big optical discs.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
And email was Timbuktu on a Mac Plus.
Yeah. I remember those great big. What were those great big drives called? Were they called Jazz drives? SideQuest. That's what they were. Yeah. That was interesting. Oh, look at this. Look at this. You got fans already. Pops is like Tadpole. By the way, Dave, Pops calls Vic Tadpole. So, and that's because I don't know if you know, Dave. Vic just turned 16, like what, a couple of weeks ago.
It was like a month
ago. So he doesn't even have a driver's license yet.
Me on the streets would be horrified. Let's be honest.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So Pop says that Doc started it. So all right, you got to give credit where credit is due. Yeah. So now, are you from Texas, or you just moved to Texas and then moved back to California?
From California, Southern California, LA area, all my life. It was job ended. The prospect for Malibu had they were in a holding pattern. They weren't doing any hiring for a bit, and it was basically let's just get out there. And my brother was going to Texas. I got on a plane, and it was like I lived there for 6 months with what I could carry on the plane and what he could carry on a motorcycle, and that was my 24-year-old learning experience. And
wow.
Just get out there and try something different.
Now, is your brother still out there?
No, he passed away not last October, the October before.
I'm sorry to hear that. What did he stay in Texas, or did he come back?
He was a truck driver, so he was based out of Texas, but he was all over the U.S.
Yeah. Wow, very cool. Now, the last time I saw you was probably San Diego Comic Con in about 2015, something like that.
Something like that, 2015, 2016. I think
Yeah.
that was the last time you went out to Comic-Con.
Well, I went out in 2018, I think. There was about 2 or 3 years apart from them because I went with my buddies at Kablam both time. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up to be sure of the years exactly. But I got some good pictures out from the trips out there, and it was a lot of fun. It was weird. Those two conventions for me were weird because I wasn't working though. And every other convention I had ever been to, at San Diego Comic Con, I was always working the show with Malibu. And so, or I went one year as my own independent guy with a table there. So it was weird because I didn't have a quote, a base, and so it was I enjoyed it though. It was fun to be able to walk around. I got to see folks that I got to have lunch with Scott Rosenberg, who I hadn't seen since the days the doors, the shuttered, Marvel shuttered the doors. So, now of course, I have seen all, well, I don't know the stuff that you knew that I haven't seen, but I've seen a whole bunch of pages that you've done. I know how fantastic they're looking.
Do you want me to present?
Can you do that? Dude, I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
Let me see screen sharing.
So tonight's topic is a weird one. And I was just coming up with topics because Tim was on vacation, and I was just trying to think of things. What's something that Tim would probably never think of or never talk about? So I came up with three or four different topics, and you say three of them? Yeah, 3 topics. So I came up with several to fill the space while Tim was gone. So. So when he comes back, he'll get back to his regular insanity that is Tim TK.
All I know is I had the better name for this show. All I'm saying.
Plant Protectors was the better name.
Yes. You gotta hit the alliteration.
Now, Vic, what are you working on there? Can we show it? I'm gonna while Dave is working at
a Dark Wolf homage cover.
Oh man, I've got to send RA an email. See, here's the problem. The reason I can't remember it, Vic, is because I don't do Twitter that much, and I use my email as my to-do list. So I have an email, right? When I get emails, that all comes to me, and I use that as my to-do list. And because you send me Twitter messages, it doesn't make it over to my email for my to-do list. So.
I think I sent you an email to figure out if Butch Burcham is alive because he's just like RA, a ghost on anything.
Is RA what now? I can't.
Butch Burcham, the artist for Dark Wolf. I'm trying to figure out if he's even alive. Because that's been hard.
I don't know that. Did you email RA and ask him?
I don't have RA's email.
You go to bed? Huh? Okay. Nice. But
is it sharing now?
Burcham. Hold on. I navigated away to see if there was any information here. I don't know. It just says when he's born, so I don't see.
There's no death date, so that's
no. I don't see.
Good sign.
Yeah. Dave, I do not see that you are sharing yet still. Let's see, maybe if I
you gotta press the present button, agree to everything, choose to share your screen, and it's a whole mess.
Yeah, it's coming up with his lost permission.
That must be something. I'll see it. It'll pop up in my kind of my backstage studio, so I'll see it at the kind of the bottom of my my windows down here when you're able to get it going. Shoot, I was in the process of saying something. Yeah, I know. I owe RA an email for you, Vic. I haven't I've forgotten that. But part of my problem was recently I've tried to email RA, and my email is being blocked for some reason. I don't know if it's there's Jose. Oh, Jose, can you see?
Another
What's up, Jose?
all-glasses stream.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Sorry, I'm late.
No worries. We talked about you, but that's okay.
Oh, smack, I hope. Nothing good.
Yeah. So, Jose, you remember Vic is joining us again. And Jose, I want to introduce you to Dave. Dave, meet Jose.
Dave.
Jose, meet Dave. David is a former Malibu colorist from back in the day.
Awesome.
Yep. So
Former Malibu colorist, current Silverline colorist.
He is working on. He's doing one of our remix books, and man, it looks so good too. Jose, when I see you next, remind me, I can give you one of these. He's working on this, Demon's Tales,
Nice.
which was drawn by Paul Pelletier and inked by Thomas Formonti. So, and this book dates. This is some of Paul's very first work before he went on to DC. I teased some. It was still fantastic looking stuff. It's beautiful, and Paul's work is just some of that. It's just made for color, and the stuff Dave is doing on it is just fantastic. So I'm excited to see that.
I think I have to drop Chrome and reopen, so I will be right back. Okay.
All right. We'll be here. He's trying to figure out how to share some of the colors, Jose. So we get on. Michael Williams says, "Hey everyone, Master Man, what is up, Mr. Williams? Good to see you here."
Right.
By the way, you guys, the Master Man is I think you've probably seen it before. This is something I got in trouble, but this is something I used to say in my class. I used to say, "Hey, you can call me." Of course, it's a comic book class, so I would tell them, "Hey, you can call me, Professor Man, Professor. You can call me Brilliant One, and you can even call me Master Man." My thinking was like, that's a comic book name, right? I mean, that's look, it's bad. But somebody got mad and said I was
the
being
word
racist.
Master isn't.
Yeah, so I'm like, that is not what I meant.
Really?
And they're like, well, you're from Mississippi. You had to mean that. No, I'm teaching a comic book class. It's about comic books, and so they made me remove that. Yeah.
I would have not done that just in case. Granted,
Listen, I don't have a problem with
generation.
that. The thing, yeah.
Master Man character design, right?
Yeah. Mike said we're
Marvel
still waiting.
Man.
Oh, really? That was in your class that all came up? I didn't realize
Oh,
that.
nice.
Yeah, it was not him though.
Oh no,
Hey, Dave, I see the page now. Let me get this up here. Happy Jack says, "Well, shoot, I was going to be lazy and fret about getting something done instead of getting something done, but I get the good work done when you are on, so here I go." Happy Jack, that's what we're here for. We are
It works for me.
to help you get your work done. And as an inspiration, no, it was not you, but I am not. That's as far as it goes. No, it was not you. Look at this. Dave has a page.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, Dave, you gotta zoom in that a little bit.
I gotta blow the screen up.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Look how
Nice.
beautiful that stuff is. Yeah, that's fantastic, Dave. Yeah, I'm so ready. Look, he's got multiple pages open there. Check it out.
This is what I'm working on right now. I'm
All
just
right.
starting. I'm doing some flats. I figured I'd work on it while we were here.
I was gonna say, if you're comfortable with it, work on it while we're chatting. Oh, look! Oh man, that is so good. I love that page. Yeah. By the way, that's Early Champion right there. For those of you who are reading Silverline Team Up, that is Champion there. He was part of the Demon Tales story, and so if you want an early look at him, he is there. So, all right, so we're well into it. Oh my gosh, look at that! You gotta stop it. Anybody recognize that title? Anybody know that title right there? Can you zoom up on the title a little bit there, Dave?
You see me fine.
Yeah. I gave a hint at one of our streams sometime back. One of the things that I like to do, and I will add your name there, Dave. I like to use song titles to bands that I'm listening to at the time, or I like. Michael says plant-based heroes. That's genius. So that is our topic for tonight. So let's talk about plant-based heroes now. Much like last week, we're not going to make a whole lot of rules. Kind of whatever we can come up with, we'll be fair game. If we had a buzzer, any of us kind of, we could kind of buzz out. But no, we're going to talk. Last week we talked about animal-based heroes. So this week we're talking about plant-based heroes, and Vic is dying to get started. So Vic, we'll let you go first.
Sorry to hold you up, Vic.
He's not a hero, but
who's this?
Lord Pumpkin.
Lord Pumpkin.
Lord Pumpkin.
Yeah. So Jose is like, Lord Pumpkin. Who's Lord Pumpkin?
Yeah, I'm lost on that one.
I actually know someone who knows the artist who worked on the one shot for him.
Who was that? Aaron? Aaron did that, didn't he?
Who?
Aaron Lepresti?
Was that Aaron or was that Kyle?
Kyle Holtz did the one shot?
I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been
I thought he did all the other night.
Kyle Holtz did the Lord Pumpkin Necromantra, I think. Man, that's been too many years ago. You can't ask me to remember who did everything.
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, I don't remember who did that, to be honest with you. I know Dan Danko was, I think he was the sole creator, but if the other creators out there hears that and don't get mad at me because I can't remember. But I know that Danko was Dan Danko was the creator. Aaron Lepresti, I think, was the designer. I think he designed Lord Pumpkin because Lord Pumpkin appeared in Sludge.
How did I already get a tangent going?
Because you're Vic.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
that's what you do.
Aaron Lepresti. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah,
he inked it too. Dang.
Yeah, and of course, Aaron's got a Scott and Rory were just on Aaron's show last. Was it last Sunday? A couple days ago. So Aaron's got a big show that he does. He's got a he's turned into a pretty big independent guy these days. Doing a book called
Berserker Knots.
Say again?
Berserker Knots. Right? That's the image book he did?
No. He's doing crap. I got his book.
Crap.
He's the one doing, was it God something?
No, you're thinking Godsend?
Maybe.
Presti. What is the name of that? He had a big Indiegogo, the Wraith of God. You're right. Yeah, Wraith of God. Yeah, it was the Wraith of God. Yeah, sorry, you're right. I think issue 2. Look at that, Happy Jacks right on it. The Wraith of God. I think issue 2 or the second volume has been. I know I backed it. I don't have that one yet though, so I'm not sure what the status of it is. But I got the first one, read it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. He also did. He did one. I think he canceled that one. Garbage Man, which Aaron's I love the way Aaron draws monsters. And that's why I think he was so perfect for Sludge.
Remember Sludge?
What's that?
I remember Sludge.
Yeah. He was the artist for Sludge, which is where Lord Pumpkin debuted. And then Lord Pumpkin had his own little, I think it was a little 4-issue miniseries, Lord Pumpkin Necromantra. And then I think there was a Lord Pumpkin one shot. So Lord Pumpkin ended up being one of those characters that nobody really expected to do what it did, but it showed up and people loved it. And so we just, like any good capitalist publishing company, we gave them more.
That's right.
USA.
That's right. You want more Lord Pumpkin? We'll give you more Lord Pumpkin. Okay, so.
Except Marvel won't now, because they refuse to do anything with the Ultraverse.
Yeah, that's true. So Lord Pumpkin, I think that's a great one. And Lord Pumpkin is a villain, of course. What other plant-based characters? I think I said heroes, but it doesn't matter. Heroes, villains, whatever plant-based characters.
Have we named the obvious ones like Poison Ivy and whatnot?
No, we have not. Yeah, that Poison Ivy was one of the first ones I thought of as well. Is that as a Batman villain.
There's also Chlorophyll Kid for Legion. That's Legion of Superhero, or sorry, Legion of Substitute Heroes, right?
Chlorophyll.
Yes, Chlorophyll Kid, I think is what he's called.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I was thinking the obvious ones were like Swamp Thing.
Well, I feel the obvious ones would be like Man Thing, Swamp Thing, Poison Ivy.
So, all right. So hold on then. Let's because this is what I do. Let's debate this a little bit. Swamp Thing is based off a swamp. Now, swamp is not a plant.
He's made up of grass.
He is the embodiment guardian of the green.
Yeah.
Right?
He is the
guardian of the green.
Well, so what about Man Thing? And of course, you guys know the joke about the Man Thing, right? They did
giant-sized man thing.
Giant-sized man thing. That was on purpose. The giant, because they wanted to say giant-sized man thing.
It wasn't on purpose.
Does Booger Man count? I got a story about Booger Man.
I thought the writer said it wasn't on purpose, and he just said it to his neighbor, and he was like, and she just gave him strange looks, and he was like, "Oh, crap, I messed up."
I say that's a cop-out answer.
Yeah, I think
probably.
That's a cop-out, yeah.
If you say Man Thing, you know what you're saying when you say Man Thing.
Even in the 1970s, if you said Man Thing, it's particularly if you said giant-sized Man Thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You knew what you were doing. Yeah.
Hey, you got to cover your own... yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a bit of CYA, if you ask me.
Right.
So here's the thing. You guys know the story of so Happy Jack says Booger Man. All right, now
I don't even know who Booger Man is.
Well, hold on. Do you know who the Boogeyman is? Well, you never heard of the Boogeyman?
Hold on.
The Boogeyman.
We'll catch you if you can. Yada yada yada.
Isn't there a Boogeyman from like wrestling? And I'm not a wrestling fan, but
I don't.
The guy who puts worms in his mouth.
Yeah, that guy was creepy.
I don't know. So it's
no,
funny though that
how are you Southern and you don't watch wrestling? Come on.
I'm not Southern.
I'm Southern. Yeah, I don't watch.
I live in the South, but I am not Southern.
Yeah, well, Orlando's not really Southern. The South ends around Gainesville.
Yeah.
Florida's just kind of North Cuba. I mean, South Florida is just kind of North Cuba. So I would go back here to Happy Jack talks about Booger Man, right? So it's funny, I think, that he says Booger Man and not Boogeyman, because legend has it that the way the Boogeyman comes about is that it's because the Boogeyman is based off of the Booger Boys, right? Which was in Hollows of Tennessee, there was a family known as the Boogers who were very rough and tough, family. And so one of the things that the parents, the moms in that area used to do to get their kids to go to sleep, they would tell their kids, "You better behave or those Booger Boys are going to come get you." Right?
That's a legit thing.
The legend has it that's a legit thing, right? So clearly it's not that we don't say the Booger Boys today. It's the Boogeyman, right? When I grew up, it was always the Boogeyman. The Boogeyman is going to get you.
Right.
Well, again, legend has it, Booger Man, the Booger Boys became the Booger Man, became the Boogeyman, right? And so
I'm from Tennessee, and I never heard that.
You're from
That's
Tennessee and you
interesting.
never heard that?
Yeah,
Where are you from in Tennessee? Knoxville?
somewhere around there.
Yeah. So the Booger Boys, from what my understanding, are around the hills, kind of hills and hollers south of Nashville. They used to do a lot of moonshine back there back in the days. You've seen that. You've probably seen the movie Walking Tall about Buford T. Pusser.
Yeah, that's how most of my family
Nobody
ended up
knows
dying back in the
Walking
day.
Tall. Come on, nobody. Okay, Jose, you do or don't?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. I've ridden on I've been on the highway, the Buford T. Pusser Highway, a whole bunch. I used to live in the county right next to McNairy County. McNairy County is where Buford T. Pusser was, and where he cleaned up all the steals and the stuff going on there. So yeah. See, Happy Jack says there was an awful 90s SNES game, Boogerman, a pick and flick adventure. I was always curious if it was okay. Wait a minute, you can't say booger and pick and flick. Can you? Can you get away saying a booger and pick and flick adventure?
You definitely can nowadays, but like the 90s, people cared about their kids.
Yeah. I was always curious. I don't remember a Boogerman comic at all. I'm not saying there was or there wasn't, but I don't recall one.
I know there was a like a Boogeyman comic, which was Will Eisner doing a ripoff of his own character.
Yeah, and see, the Boogeyman then goes back to kind of what we were just talking about. Happy Jack says that was legit the name of the game. Oh my gosh. Boogerman, pick and flick. That's brilliant. I love that. Michael says the original or the rewrite with Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, I'm thinking about the original. I have not.
Original, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen the.
Why does The Rock have to be in every reboot?
So the Rock movie Walking Tall is based on True Facts 2, and I think that was based off something, but I'm pretty sure that was based off True Facts as well.
Yeah. Is Dave missing or is he just leaning? Okay, no, he's just leaning way down. I was like,
I'm leaning, getting close to the screen.
Okay, suddenly I didn't see you. And I'm like, wait, I didn't see you get up. Where'd you go?
No, I'm here.
Ninja. That's ninja stuff.
So
maybe this thing will down a little bit more. Kind of get freaky though. Just see the top of my forehead now.
Well, so who was it? C. Michael who used to come on here, and he had a hat. He had a special hat that when he leaned down, you got to see some kind of image on his hat, which was kind of a clever thing to do. But yeah. All right. So what other plant-based characters? So all right. So Swamp Thing is the embodied with the green. What about Man Thing?
I don't know much about Man Thing. I don't. As funny as this sounds, I don't follow a lot of Marvel stuff.
What?
The only
I know.
And how are you on this stream?
Because I'm somewhat talented.
That's very true.
I'm mildly entertaining.
Then how am I on this stream? I'm annoying and I have no talent. So like, why am I here?
Oh, dude,
because you know a lot, dude. You're like an encyclopedia of Malibu.
Also, you got talent. You just got to realize that you're 16 and you got to keep caressing that talent.
That's right.
Yeah, you just gotta keep caressing it, keep working on it.
Grind.
That's the way it all starts.
The grind is real, my guy. The grind is real.
The grind is very real. Don't let anyone tell you it's not.
When I was in high school, I was told that my artwork sucks. I should not draw. I stopped drawing for years.
Oh my goodness!
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Like, know that know what you're worth, and definitely keep working. Keep working at it.
Here, the beautiful thing is this, and here we are on tangents again. The beautiful thing is this, that art is one of those things that some people are absolutely born with a proclivity for it. But it's the kind of thing that can be learned. It's the kind of thing that you can, but you gotta work at it. You gotta practice it. You gotta work at it. You gotta practice it. You gotta work at it. You have to do it.
Can writing be learned?
What's that?
Yeah.
Can writing be learned?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I if I didn't believe that, I mean, my employer doesn't need to hear me because I teach it.
Right. It's literally like in regards to artwork, it's literally a learned skill. Like when people come up to me, like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't even draw straight lines." Like if you tried, you could. If you practiced at it, you could.
That's
But
right.
let's be honest, nobody can draw a straight line.
No.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, well, people don't draw straight lines, so that's why they make these, right?
Right.
Why do you have one of those?
Yeah. So, you got a ruler.
Look, all within reach.
Yeah. Yeah. Oddly, I think we've done this
Triangles.
off before. Jose, you got one of these?
I do. It's actually in another box. So I never thought I was going to learn how to hand letter, but evidently our first year of school, that was one of our. I think it's all right. One of our first year, in our first year, one of our classes, they taught us to do hand lettering.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to hand letter, like a lot of my fellow students got like really frustrated, and I'm just like, dude, you just need to breathe it out, and then do a couple letters and then back up, and then come back, do a couple more, back up. But we had to do a whole 11 by 17 page of lettering. We had to pick like somebody's poem and letter it, and I actually lettered it, and I drew a picture of her on one side and a skull on the other.
Wow. Wait, so you had to hand letter an entire poem?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Should I get a names guide?
If you're going to go to the Kubert School, yeah, probably.
They give you one.
Oh, do they? Well, then don't buy one.
Yeah, they give you one.
The thing about it is, it's funny because most people don't letter by hand anymore. Most people use Illustrator or some some other digital means. But the funny thing is, we use those and work very hard to make them look as if they're hand lettered.
Right.
So
it depends on the fonts that you use and whatnot, and you know what I mean. You can give it that impression, but yeah, so our teacher taught us how to letter, and I'm sure some of my other fellow classmates will say no, that didn't happen. But our teacher taught us how to letter, and then after she left to let us work, I went around to a couple of the other students to help them out because they didn't understand what they were doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's one thing I knew how to do before I went to the Kubert School because I had actually lettered a couple comics before.
Yeah. You know where I learned it, believe it or not? I learned it in 9th grade in a mechanical engineering class.
That makes sense to me, yeah.
Yep.
All the lettering stuff I know comes from this book.
Well, what book is that?
Yeah.
The Charlton Comic Guide.
The what?
The Charlton Comic Guide.
I don't know what that is.
Charlton Comic Guide.
Charlton Comic Guide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlton Neo reprinted it.
Oh, okay. Happy Jack says, I was going to say hand lettering is tough. I'm really good at big letters for like covers and stuff, but I've worked at it, but have never picked it up. Right. Well, Happy Jack, the thing I will be really quick to tell you is that, if you know the process, if you know how, I would say you're good enough now. Just go ahead and go use Illustrator. Illustrator will do everything for you. You can adjust everything. You can even take my problem with I never had my letters never looked good. I knew how to do it, but I knew I never could make my letters look good enough. So if I could have taken somebody else's letters and used them, I would have been fine. I couldn't do that clearly. Now I can with the computer. And so I would say that Happy Jack is that you can use Illustrator. And if you have a good font, man, you make your own handwriting into a font, and you can still use that, and it'll still look like
easy
handwriting. Yeah. I've probably spent. Over the last when I first bought my first font, probably 10 years ago, I spent probably about $800 on fonts. just over like 1 year. Well, here's the thing. This is a plug for Comic Craft now. Comic Craft has a sale on January the 1st. They always put their letters, their fonts on sale. Sometimes they'll do it in the middle of the year too. And every year I've spent anywhere from $60 to $100 buy fonts because they put them on sale, and I'm like, hey, I can go buy that font. It's $20 instead of 120, you know. And so that's kind of how I've stocked up on fonts. I've been using lately. I have to go back and look. I think Rick Parker's letters. Rick Parker. I think it was Rick Parker. But you can buy some of the. I think you can buy like Jim Lee font, stuff like that.
Well, there's interesting ones too. Like I get from thefont.com.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You can get them for free, or you can donate to the creator of that particular font.
Yeah,
it could be whatever you want. Like, you know, are pretty pricey, but like $5, $10 on a guy if I'm going to use his fonts for anything. If I know how to use it.
Jose, your mic is clicking in and out.
Well, of course it is. All right, let me my other headphone.
So it's like we hear you and then it clicks, and we don't hear you, and it kind of clicks on and off. So we're hearing most of what you say, but you've got to click. Changing microphones, folks.
Has mine went out yet?
Not that I've heard, no. So yeah, Happy Jack, I would say that, and I can, Happy Jack, if you wanted to, I could send you some. I got some templates and things like that for Illustrator. I'm happy they were shared with me. I added to them a little bit, so I'm happy to share them. The only thing I would say, Jose, about, and I know the font. The only thing I would say about when you get them is you want to make sure that you have the right to print them, because some fonts will say, hey, you are welcome to use this as long as you don't make any money off of it. Right. And so you just want to be sure, and this is not just for you, this is for everybody who's getting fonts, is you want to make sure that you have the right to use it in a comic book that you're going to sell and make money. A lot of times those fonts will say, hey, yeah, you can use this for your webcomic because we know you're not going to be making any money with your webcomic. Right? So they kind of give those away.
Yeah, that's one of the things I check. Like I said, like as a kind of thank you, that's why I'll donate money to the ones I get fonts from. Yeah, because that's only fair.
It is. Yeah, it is. Especially if you find, and see, I kind of like that because you can kind of get it and try it out. Right. And especially if you find that you're going to use it, or that you do use it, then you can say, hey, I downloaded this font. I didn't pay any money for it, but I'm seeing that I'm using it. So here's you some money. Right. As my way of saying, hey, cool font. All right, back to plant-based.
Okay. So, Chlorophyll Kid.
Chlorophyll Kid. So, what is the Chlorophyll Kid?
He is a character. Okay, so you know Legions of Superheroes, right?
I do, yes.
All right, so there's Legion of Substitute Heroes. Those that didn't quite make the cut,
right,
they decided to form their own group.
Yeah.
To, to kind of back up the Legion. And that's where, what's his name? Kid Frost came from. He originally was a Legion of Substitute hero, and he got promoted up to Legionnaire. So Chlorophyll Kid, I think they had him in the cartoon, like the most recent cartoon.
Really?
But, yeah, but they changed his costume. He almost looked like this like chubby Christmas tree looking character from freaking Robin Hood Men in like tights or whatever. Like just like this green costume. It was goofy.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm familiar with the Legion of Substitute Heroes, but I'm not familiar with the character.
I told you, I am a font of DC worthless information.
Well, that's good, because I was that for Marvel up until like 20 years ago. Right. Happy Jack says, thanks so much. I'm almost finished with my current project, and I have my cheats to make lettering work. I don't have much digital right now, but I'll bug you if I ever make the leap. Absolutely. Please feel free to do so. This is why I'm saying it. I don't really have much to offer you. I mean, I know how to hand letter physically, but I don't really have much to offer you in the way of any kind of how to do it easier, better, faster, or anything like that, other than just don't get in a hurry. And
yeah, I don't think anything fast when it comes to hand lettering
Yeah.
would help. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to hand lettering.
Yeah. I think that's the same for a lot of comic book art, though, don't you?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can't hand you a page and say, ink this fast. I mean, I could, but...
I mean, I have.
Well, but am I going to get your best work? I mean, okay, so hold on, Jose.
Isn't that like the whole...
I realize that was a loaded question. I'm not suggesting that you would hack it out, but if I hand you a page and I say, hey, I need this in an hour, or if I hand you a page and say, hey, you got 6 hours to do this, am I going to get better work at 6 hours, or am I going to get better
you're
work?
definitely going to get better work at 6 hours.
Yeah.
You did hand me a cover and was like, hey, I need this by the Kickstarter, which starts in like 4 days.
Yeah, but 4 days. I mean, come on.
I got it done by Sunday.
Yes,
so...
you did. Yes, you did. Yeah, and I also noticed that I got colors that I got to update.
Man.
Yeah, I just got. Oh, you know what? Why not show it now? Right?
I like showing it now.
Yeah. Let me find it here. Where is he at?
Yeah, in fact, I actually hit up Rob Davis and I asked him just to look at the inks that I had, like just to make sure, like when it came to like the Kirby Crackle he wanted on there, to make sure it was the way he envisioned it in his head. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
And?
Oh, he said yeah. He said it looked great.
Excellent. Glad to hear it.
But like, I mean, when it comes to, if I do something and I think it looks one way, you know what I mean, and I'm pulling away from somebody's vision, then it doesn't make them happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
let me share this first, and then I will. Here we go. Can Dave don't stop sharing? I'm just gonna replace you just for a second.
Sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah. That's clearly that's Rob Davis, and that is you on inks.
Yep. And
then that's Mickey Clausen doing the colors. So
who's this Rob Davis guy?
Yeah. So I was very 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 excited. I don't have this was just well, you can see it's a little digitized there because this was
low res, right? Just a low res.
Yeah, it was just a low res, just sending it to me, and so
cool.
I haven't downloaded the high res just yet. But I'm
that looked good. He nailed that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's funny that you mentioned the inking. So one of the things that I try to remember to tell inkers when they are inking, and I think I'm 99% you and I talked about this. When you're inking a new penciler, don't start on page 1, right? If you're gonna do like a 22-page book like you're doing, start on page 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, somewhere around in there, because part of what happens is when you're a penciler starting to ink when you're an inker starting to ink a new penciler, you gotta figure things out. You gotta get a feel for the penciler's lines. How do they do this? How does it feel for you to move? How do you what kind of brush strokes do you need, et cetera, et cetera. And why would you spend that time learning on the first page that fans are going to see?
Yeah.
That makes zero sense to me. But now it's funny because I know a couple of I've heard a couple of people that got upset. It's like, why are you starting on there? Start on page 1. I'm like, well, actually, I said to start on page this because I don't want you learning, and if you're not learning, you know how to ink, but I don't want you learning how to get a feel for the new penciler on page 1.
Right.
So
I never actually heard that before until you talked to me about it.
Really?
And yeah, I'd never heard that before. But like
it makes sense, right?
It makes absolute sense. And so that even inking in over Aaron, I still for issue 2, I still jumped in the middle. You know what I mean? But now it's jump in the middle and do my references and then come back. Bro, I was just talking about you.
The devil.
right.
I think.
Speak
Hey,
of the
it's
devil,
Rob.
and the devil shows up.
Right?
Rob, were you here in time to see the low res version of the colors?
No.
Okay, let me pop them back up.
I just got here. I just saw your note.
Oh well, let me pop it back up for you then.
Ooh! Oh wow!
Yeah, right?
Oh wow!
That looks awesome.
That's nice.
Yep, very cool. So this was just the low res. I don't even have the high res yet, but yeah, I got that, and Jose and I were talking about it, and I'm like, "Ooh, I got that! I can show it off."
Nice.
So there we go. So Rob, do you know the fellow right above you, David Rios?
Only by name.
Okay, so David is a former Malibu colorist.
Oh, okay.
Yep, from back in the day. David probably colored some of your stuff, in the Malibu days.
That's quite possible.
It would be one of those things you'd have to say, well, let me check the files.
Check the
exactly.
Yeah, it's funny because people like Vic will say, hey, well, this and this and this, and I'm like, I'm not sure that I remember for sure about that. That was a long time ago.
It's been quite a while ago.
Yeah.
People talking crap about me.
What's that?
People talking crap about me. I see.
Oh yeah, well, always. Get used to it too.
So,
Rob, we're watching to catch you up, and anybody who may be tuning in late, we are watching David color Demon's Tales, which is one of our remix books that was drawn by Paul Pelletier and inked by Thomas Formonti back in the day. So we're watching him color that. But we are talking.
Flatting, but
well, still, we get to watch your process, and that's always fun. So, Rob, we're talking about plant-based heroes, and we haven't made it too far. We've talked about the swamp and the man things, and briefly mentioned Poison Ivy and Lord Pumpkin.
Ooh.
Oh, and I'm sorry, yeah, and the Chlorophyll Kid.
I thought it was chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, like
a plant.
Flowers, yeah.
I didn't say chloroform, did I?
Oh, I was thinking the name was chlorophyll.
For a different reason.
So Rob, since you're just jumping in, plant-based heroes, plant-based characters, anybody you can think of?
Groot.
Oh man, that is a great one.
How did we miss that one?
I know.
How was that not the first one we mentioned?
I don't know, but a good thing I came in. You see,
right?
Of course, Rob for the save. Yeah, Groot. That's a great one. I mean, he is a plant, right? He's a tree.
Yes,
yep, he's a tree.
Absolutely, he's a plant. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody seen? Is New Guardians of the Galaxy out? Yeah.
Not yet, right?
I don't think so.
May 5th.
May 5th. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So in a
I
few
haven't
weeks.
seen it yet. Oh, it'll be just out in time for Free Comic Book Day. That's great.
Nice.
Yeah.
But I'll be in Washington D.C. for a wedding of a longtime acquaintance.
Oh,
That's
really?
So yeah.
Acquaintance. Ooh,
Well,
not even a friend.
It's like it's some very close friends of ours. I don't know Roland, if you've ever met or knew Kirk Critton.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, well, it's his daughter. She's getting
cool.
married.
Okay,
And
so it's not Kirk, it's his daughter.
Yeah, it's his daughter, Sarah Jane.
Oh, cool.
And she's like, the thing is, his wife and my wife were pregnant at the same time.
Huh.
My daughter was, and they were born like a month apart.
Wow.
So we went to all the Lamaze meet, or I don't know what they're whether it's
right.
Lamaze or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, it's still called Lamaze.
We went to all those classes together, and then afterwards we'd go out for ice cream. But we were really close friends, and she's like a daughter to me. Sarah Jane is. So yeah. So we're going to go out.
How are they in Washington D.C. then?
She went to school at. I'm going to say the wrong one. I think it was Yale or Harvard. And she ended up. She and her soon-to-be husband work in different offices there in Washington D.C.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I would be more specific, but I don't know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, I
So-
know. Yeah, that's close enough. Okay, I
But
just
that's but they're they
if they were good buds, how did they end up in DC? Because you never
but
lived
it's
there, right?
it's because of she
Her
got a
job.
law degree, passed the bar, and now she's a lawyer or a clerk or something for someone there in the Washington D.C. area.
Wow.
Again, I don't know what the details are, so I can't be more specific.
Sure.
But yeah, she and her future husband both work in Washington D.C. now, so that's where they're going to have the wedding.
Wow.
I
That
knew
sounds-
Rob was a
that sounds
spy.
fun. Well, one of our very own, John Medic, is getting married on May the 6th on Free Comic Book Day.
That's
Yeah.
so he can remember at all times.
Yeah.
I say that with the understanding that my father-in-law got married on
2
New
days
Year's.
after Star Wars Day.
Yeah, right.
It is. That's right. That's probably why John can remember it, because it's going to be 2 days after Star Wars. Because Free Comic Book Day is not always on the same day, but May
No.
4th
That's
is always
fair.
Star Wars
That's
Day.
fair.
So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if John had actually said, "Hey, let's get married on May 4th." And she said,
Note
"That's
to
a
self: get
that's
married
a
on
Thursday.
April
We're not
20th.
getting married on a Thursday." How did we not think of Groot?
I know.
I don't know.
So, does Silverline have any plant-based characters? Jose's like, what?
Well, we can make one.
Yeah, we absolutely can make one. I'm trying
I'll
to think
take
that I don't know that we have one that exists already.
Here's what you do. You relaunch Silver Storm, right? We get all the plant-based characters you want.
Yeah, I don't think that we've got any plant-based.
Trying to think of I don't know if Malibu had any either.
Lord Pumpkin, and that's about it.
Yeah,
Lord
that's right,
Pumpkin.
That's right.
I'm trying to think, did the Protectors have any?
No.
No, because
Not that I remember.
Greystone, Airman, Man of War, all those were.
I don't think Centaur even had one. The original publisher of all those characters didn't even have a plant base.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think if there are any others.
Yeah.
Other companies.
It's funny because the animal characters was far easier than the plant-based characters.
Were there any at Eternity, Air Cell Adventure? The what are they like?
Imprints.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of any. Happy Jack, you got any ideas out there for plant-based characters? Or Michael, if you're still around. Anybody else listening? Plant-based characters. I can't think of any that Malibu had at all. I mean, clearly there was the animal ones. They did a lot of the Planet of the Apes. Well, let's see. Let's. Well, let's see. We got all the obvious ones.
Yeah, my brain keeps wanting to go to Metamorpho, but he was
chemical, right?
He was chemical, yeah.
Chemical.
There's Floronic Man. Floronic Man is one.
Who's Floronic Man?
Floronic
I think
Man
you're making
was-
stuff up now.
Look it up, sir. I told you. A ton of useless DC comic characters.
There was like a tree lady in
Floronic.
the Villains and Vigilantes spin-off comic from Eclipse.
Recent Poison Ivy storyline. Floronic Man happened to be somebody who evidently mind manipulated Poison Ivy into doing stuff, and has to do with like spores and crap like that. I didn't read the whole story. I actually have it. I haven't read it yet. But yeah, he's actually the main villain in that particular storyline.
Huh.
Oh, so they're trying to like fully make it where
no
she's
Floronic Man's been around.
What is Floronic though? I guess I don't. What kind of plant is that?
I don't know. The way they drew, so the way they used to draw him was he had like yellowish green like limbs and whatnot, and like foliage all over him. And I feel that he used to be like an antagonist for Swamp Thing back in like the 70s and 80s, I think. And they kind of wanted to use him more recently, which is why they kind of retconned his backstory for Poison Ivy.
Huh.
So,
all right. So I cheated. I just Googled. But here, all right. So here's this. Here's the problem I have with this list already, right? So clearly they named all the ones that we have named, but they have mantis on there.
Mantis isn't a plant base.
Mantis is an insect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who is Nature Girl? Do y'all know Nature Girl?
Nope.
I know Nature Boy.
Oh, there's Floronic Man. What the heck? Right there. Jose. Sure enough, Floronic Man. Nature Girl.
I feel that you did not trust me.
No. I believe you. I believe you. But the thing is, I don't know the DC world that much. So here we go. Nature Girl is a mutant student at the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning.
How is she plant-based? She literally has like deer antlers on her head.
She does have deer antlers, yeah. So, but it says she has a cool power and can talk to trees.
Okay.
So
Nature Girl. Okay, yeah.
I've never heard of Nature
Maybe
Girl.
those aren't antlers; they're branches.
Right?
Oh yeah, but they do look like antlers though.
They're
don't look like
antlers.
branches.
Bushroot from Darkwing Duck.
Oh,
That's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
And then there's I don't know these. I feel like I probably should.
Oh my god, I'm a moron. Flaming carrot.
Oh yeah, the flaming
I'm
carrot.
an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
That's an old one. Flaming Carrot's been out for a minute, right? Like that character came out. Like
I actually
a long
met
time
his
ago.
creator at the Chicago Comic-Con.
I met him in San Diego.
Yeah, drunk on his behind.
Bob Burden.
He was hilarious.
Meeting him would be cool, unlike a certain black and white explosion creator.
That's real vague.
Right.
Yeah.
Cerebus.
I would love to meet Dave Sim.
No, you would not. He is crazy and a creep.
Crazy and a creep.
So I've heard. I've never met him, but so
I've
I've
never
heard.
met him either. I love Cerebus. Crazy doesn't bother me. I've worked in comics long enough that Rob, you know what I'm saying, right?
Which is why you know everybody.
I don't know everybody.
What did I just
Speaking
do to
of-
myself here?
I don't know.
Okay,
It's sideways now.
You have had a breakfast with Stanley.
Lunch.
You know Marv Wolfman.
Lunch.
Bro, lunch. Okay, Howard Chaykin, Jerry Bingham.
Howard Shakin.
You know everyone.
I don't know about everyone, but
My dude.
the
Every
advantage-
time we do a convention together, you're like, oh, I know this guy, blah blah blah. I know
F you,
this guy.
Roland.
I'm like,
So do I introduce you to them?
you sure do.
All right. So see there. Now you know.
Then, okay.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy doesn't bother me. Creepy. I can take care of myself.
He's admitted to doing some stuff that.
That. I don't worry too much about it. As long as he doesn't hurt any minors and anything illegal.
He did.
There's a lot of crazy people in comics, and
True.
if they're not hurting people, then to each their own. There's a lot of crazy people in comics.
Ooh, Merv. Merv is one too. Merv is from Sandman the Dreaming.
Oh, so what is Merv's power?
I don't think he smokes cigars and gives you bad attitude. But he's a pumpkin head. He's a big pumpkin head with overalls, walking around with a rake.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right. So, would this be okay? It probably wouldn't be. You guys remember Terra from the Teen Titans?
That's Earth. She moved.
That
the
would
Earth.
be Earth, would it? Yeah.
That's rocks. What about that villain, Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man?
Doom Patrol. I mean, wouldn't he technically cover the entire spread?
Wait, was that his name? Animal, Vegetable,
Vegetable, Mineral Man. Yep.
He turns into a dinosaur.
Yeah, he had like a
T-Rex arm, giant vine, and then just rock everywhere else.
I love that they brought that dude into friggin' the Doom Patrol series.
Oh my goodness.
I gotta catch up on it, but I've refused to pay $15 for HBO Max.
The right thing to do.
It sounds like a lot of these
to pay for it.
So it sounds like a lot of these really crazy plant-based characters are coming out of DC Comics.
Yeah, they really kind of are. Well, there's like a list of them for for Marvel as well.
Well, I googled plant-based characters and I haven't really seen any come up for Marvel yet. Except for the ones
like Comic Vine.
What about Krakoa?
So
that's an island.
The whole planet, right? Or the whole planet, the whole island, right? So that's the plants and the rocks.
Is an entire island capable of creating human? Yeah. Okay. All right. So that didn't count.
This is a sort of modern underground comic from Ireland, Ganja Man.
What is it?
Ganja Man, like
his head's a pot leaf.
Oh,
there is was it a Mr. Weed? I think that's a Marvel character.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Weed.
Image, it's an Image character. Yeah, I
what
mean,
do you
think
expect?
It's weeds. I don't think it's marijuana. I think it's like actual weeds.
Who's this character right here? There's a Image character.
There's
Plant Man. There's actually one called Plant Man from Marvel Comics. Yeah, it's called Plant Man. And I figured, Spider-Man has to have some villains that were plants. Appeared in 1963. Let's see. Where did he show up at? Green Power. He fought the Human Torch to Prince Namor, to Defenders, Captain America. Oh, you didn't tell me what comic books he was in.
Why would a plant man want to fight a fireman?
That's like acid.
Yeah. That's just like, you're destined to burn, man. There's nothing around that.
Maybe he's a masochist.
Yeah.
His new name is Smoldering Bushman.
Right.
Burning Bush.
All right, let's see here. So that was the that was so there was a picture that showed up on the Google when I Googled it, and Happy Jack says there's got to be one from the Tick series.
There is. Oh, it's Mr. El Cid.
Who?
El Cid. He's like a sunflower. Yeah.
El Cid, which is a pun on El Cid.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
El Cid the Tick.
Spelled like seed, like
yeah.
Seed, yeah.
Like L, like the for Spanish, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, it is a big sunflower head. Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Wow.
Good
Happy
call,
Jack
Happy
says,
Jack.
yes, a giant sunflower. Yep.
I totally forgot about that too.
Yeah.
I saw one. I can't take credit for it, but someone online was Moss Man, who happens to be a character from He-Man.
Okay, Moss Man.
He's all green and planty.
Well, that's funny. That's what I was trying to do in my head. I was trying to go through plant base. Okay, so we got trees. Are there oaks and pines? And I can't think of any of those tree things. and I certainly didn't think of Groot.
Right.
But then I'm like, okay, well then what about grass? All right, well there's crabgrass, ryegrass. I can't think of any
Krabby
grass.
Appleton.
What?
You don't ever run Captain Kangaroo?
What is Captain Kangaroo?
Krabby Appleton.
You haven't lived.
Appleton.
Yeah, he wasn't a plant. He was a villain for Tom Terrific.
Yep. You don't even know that Captain Kangaroo was all the stuff and some M&Ms.
And some M&Ms?
Heck yes. I used to love Captain Kangaroo.
Here is a very dumb thing that I think had a plant-based villain. There's this really crappy show you'd get shown during Sunday school called Bible Man.
Whoa.
It's a
Bible
bad,
Man, yeah.
It's a bad show, just objectively.
I came this close to getting the license to do the comic book.
Really?
So Malibu
This was
gonna
several
do
years
it?
ago.
I gotta get that license.
I would totally work on Bible Man comic book, just so you know.
I actually was in talks with Carol Kalish at Marvel at one point doing religious comics.
Really?
Doing Bible comics. Yeah.
Yeah, Marvel did them for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna be an artist on at least one of the books.
What?
And then
So
she
cool.
had a heart attack and died on the street, and that all fell apart.
Oh my gosh! Really? Oh no!
He's just like, oh yeah, she had a heart attack and died on the street.
Yeah, it's sadly true.
I'm saying, I'm thinking he's being legit on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. She was walking down the street, had a heart attack, and died.
Wow.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's,
okay, I just brought everybody down.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's like, oh man. How depressing.
Didn't Yummy Fur have like Bible stories in it?
Yummy Fur? I never read it.
I don't even know what that is.
Old Undergrounds that I know
I
about for
remember
some
it, but
reason.
I never.
I never read that either.
Yeah.
It was. I wouldn't recommend it. It is mildly parodying.
So you bring it up, but you wouldn't recommend it. Okay.
I can know about stuff and not recommend
This
it.
is true. You can know about stuff without being able to recommend it.
The segue needs work a little bit.
Like I've never recommended someone Black Kiss.
Someone what?
Black Kiss.
Oh, Howard Jenkins' Black Kiss?
Granted, no one I know would want to read that.
I mean, I don't even know what it is, but Howard Chaykin.
Yeah, it's Howard Chaykin.
To Quinn, here's his definition.
American Flag was pretty good. I enjoyed American Flag.
I have his green. Was it Guy Gardner? Collateral Damage.
I read the first issue of Power and Glory he did for Bravura. It was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I almost kind of feel that we've exhausted.
Oh, don't tell me that.
Plant characters,
Okay, my last thought. What about flowers? Are there any characters based on flowers? Like rose, tulips,
Rose and Thorn.
Like in regards to their names, Rose and Thorn from Bone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rose and Thorn from DC.
Yeah, it was in the back of Lois Lane's.
The character who's got a split personality.
Oh. You want to hear something? I don't know if I know that one.
What? It's a DC comic and you don't know it?
I know.
Rose and Thorn.
I was the.
She was a backup
Rose
character.
Canton.
Ron Fortier and I had pitched DC a story about her that went nowhere.
Uh-huh. Yep, sure enough. Rose and Thorn are two personality characters from the Golden Age, one in the Silver Age. She came from Earth 2, and her name is Rose Canton. Initially, she and her thugs opposed the Flash. So, wow, there you go.
Yep.
Yep, very cool. It looks like she appeared in Showcase in '96.
Yep.
Very cool. See, that's how I have to do it. So, any other flowers then? I know. I'm just like, what are the flowers? Okay, daffodil. All right. So, what about bushes?
Evidently, Firestorm had a villain named Goldenrod.
Okay. Yeah, that
Is
fits.
that a plant based?
Did he look like C3PO?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of bland. I mean, he looks like Floronic, man. I mean, I don't think they varied in abilities. Oh, is it another one that I found was Blackbriar Thorn? Wasn't he a plant-based like druid guy? He messed around with Spectre.
But I don't know the answer to that. The Goldenrod character that I'm getting coming up is an animated character. It looks like from. Let's see if I can do comic character.
Yeah,
I was trying to
use Firestorm.
Okay, Firestorm. See, and that's a DC comic.
Yep.
Goldenrod. They're all pictures of Firestorm. I'm sorry.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Google, you're failing.
Yes. It talks of there's an entry for him, but there's no pictures, no images. Goldenrod's real name was Frederick Delmar, and he appeared in the Fury of Firestorm number 19 as Golden Boy.
I don't know.
That's what it looks like. Okay, so that was interesting. Plant-based characters. I actually thought we would come up with a whole lot more than what we did.
We definitely came up with a lot more animal-based characters.
We did.
And then Vic had his heart set on insect-based.
Yes, he did. And the thing about it is, I might have done this next week, but are you guys ready to hear the news?
What's up?
Next week. Oh, Happy Jack, don't leave yet. Next week, next Tuesday night, we're going to have Ross Ritchie from the CEO of Boom Comics as a guest here.
On Tuesday?
On Tuesday. Yes, you probably originally heard me say Sunday, but it ended up being that Ross had a conflict, and he's not going to be able to make Sunday, so he said Tuesday would probably be better for him. So next Tuesday, we're going to have Ross Ritchie on here. Yep, and we're going to ask him all kinds of questions about his path and how he got to Boom and that kind of thing. We'll ask him about hey, making movies as a comic book guy. Happy Jack, I saw you post this, so that's why I said hang on, don't go. So Happy Jack said, "Have a good night. I finished the art for the back cover of my book. Thank you for being you guys. So glad I caught the stream." And Happy Jack, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. And thank you for thanking us for being us. I hope it is my hope, my goal that we never change, that we always continue to be who we are. That is my goal. And I feel there's a pretty good group here that is set on that as well.
I think I'm too old to change.
Do what?
I think I'm too old to change.
Too old to change?
Yeah.
I'm pretty much... I have no personality. I'm just unmolded clay at this point.
I told my wife that my goal in life, my life goal is to become a crotchety old man who yells at kids that walk on his lawn and throw rocks at them.
Oh, like me. Okay.
I had to have inspiration somewhere.
I'm your role model now. Okay.
That's right.
He's a crotchety, venerable man.
Venerable man.
Oh, thanks a lot. You know how I feel about that particular word.
Wait, what word did he say?
Venerable.
Venerable. Oh.
Venerable. Yeah. And I'm going, oh, that means I'm old, eh?
All right, guys. Well, so tomorrow, the Wednesday Wham, Rob
Yep.
will be there with the Wednesday Whammers. You guys are going to be talking to the crew from Nations and Cannons. Nations and Cannons is a RP role-playing
Yeah, I
system.
looked them up. That looks like an interesting. It's kind of a spin-off. It uses the D&D rules, 5th edition rules.
That's cool.
To do their stuff. So and it's set in the Revolutionary War period.
Yeah.
So it looks interesting.
It really does. It looks very interesting, and their Kickstarter is just kicking butt. So so you guys will be talking to Nations and Cannons tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to be talking about Sunday yet because I had initially planned for Ross Ritchie, but I'll come up with something and we'll talk about something this coming Sunday, of course. And of course, the next week, Ross Ritchie will be our guest here next Tuesday. I'm sorry,
Tuesday.
Ross Ritchie will be our guest. And I'm gonna tease some of you guys that no one will know what I'm talking about, but Rob. And no, I'll not mention. I'll not answer anything. No, Jose or Dave, not even off stream yet. But Rob, the writer that we were talking about, I just got an email, and his response was, "Heck yes, I'm in." So
yeah, that's kind of the response I had as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So I'm a little giddy about that. Let's just say, you guys, it's there's something cooking on the burners. So
that's cool. I'm just happy we have a guest. We don't know, because of the late hour of our show, we don't get a whole heap of guests. So I'm excited for that.
Well, I will tell you that I do try when I'm talking to folks about coming on our streams. I say, hey, here are the three, here are our three streams. Which one is better suited for you?
Right.
Almost none of them say.
Well, you're not getting a lot of people from the left coast then, because that would be good for them on the West Coast.
And that's what I've tried to do for the ones out there in California, Oregon, that kind of thing. Aaron did the Tuesday night show. I think Jose might have been before you were part of the stream. Did you talk to Aaron, Jose?
Aaron who?
Lopresti.
I did not. I have not had that honor.
Yeah, and of course this is good for Dave because Dave's out on the left coast. So,
yes,
Dave,
I am.
I'm going to tell you right here now. So these guys here, you are welcome to join the stream weekly. Would love to see you color on the screen like this. That's something I love to see, and I know a lot of our viewers like to see it as well. So
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I really like that.
It's fun to see the process. So Dave, this is my, and I'll send you some off air info, but this is my invitation to you to just decide to become a regular part of the stream. Like I said, I love the way I've sat here and watched this champion panel come together. So it's fantastic. So all right, so go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it sounds fun. I usually just come in and when I have time, I come in and I'll sit and watch the panels.
Sure.
But, and like I mentioned, it's a lot easier for me to catch this one because it's so so much later, and and a lot of times my day
the other
job,
ones are a little early in the day for you.
Yep. Yeah. No, absolutely. So, Rob, we'll see you on Wednesday, but you got a show coming up this weekend too, right?
Yes, I'm going to be at starting Thursday. I'm driving to Chicago for Windy City Pulp and Paper Show. Ron Fortier and I do this show every year. We're going to sell our Airship 27 books there and meet with fans and just have a good time.
That's sweet. Cool. And this is in Chicago?
Yes. Well, it's in Lombard, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's a more intimate con. It's not. It's got the attendance. It's like 400, 500 people.
Yeah.
And but they all come with their big book buyers, and they come with money, and they're very into pulp type characters and books. So yeah. A lot of fun.
And I've said before on the stream, I have found over the last couple of years, I have a I have I have success moving more books at the smaller shows than I do the bigger shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there's not, number one, there's not as much competition.
Right.
Not as many other people there. Plus, it's easier to talk to folks and really tell them about what you're doing. And the more that they know, especially about Silverline, the more they know, they go, well, that's pretty cool. That's, you know, what have you got?
Well,
and then you've usually got something something that they're interested in, you can sell to them. So
here's what I did the other day, y'all. I was on a stream the other day, and the guy said, "So what has Silverline done?" And I said, "Oh, just these. These aren't duplicate copies, right? There's not a duplicate in here, y'all. This is all. These are our books. Hold on, let me see if I can get them.
Are those the graphic novels too?
No, they're not the graphic novels.
No, they're just the floppies.
Yeah, they're just the floppies. There's not a duplicate in here, right? This is what we've done in the last couple of years that we've been making comics. So when I tell people Silverline, we make comics,
and we're just getting started.
That's right. Just getting started. So I'm pretty jacked when people ask me about it. I'm like, do I want more eyes? Absolutely. That's probably always gonna be the case. But when I look at the body of work that we have produced, we're jamming. We're doing awesome, and that makes me.
And the problem is that you're kind of limited in the scope of where you can go to talk to folks.
Yes.
Mostly the southeast part of the country.
Right.
We could get you up here in the Kansas City area and Chicago, get you some of those bigger conventions and other conventions. I'm sure it will spread.
Yeah.
But it's that getting through the door thing that's tough, especially if you're not in previews.
Right.
If you're not being distributed by Diamond, which is in my mind is silly, because I think the future of comic books as we know them is in independent printing and publishing, print on demand. I think I know I'm preaching to the choir.
Yes.
So, but that's
I don't know if you heard me say it, Rob, but there's a guy who runs a big comic show who I absolutely respect and admire, and he was a fan. He was a fan of mine, a supporter of mine, I should say, early on.
Yep.
And I'm talking about late 80s and the 90s, and I reached out to him a couple of years ago, and I said, "Hey, I'm making comics again, and I was never able to do your show. I'd like to come." His question to me was, "How long has it been since you've been in the catalog?" And I said, "Well, it's been a long time." And he said this. He said, "Get back in the catalog, and I'll get you invited as a guest."
Wow.
That's it. He just said,
"That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous." But I mean, I understand it.
I do too.
But at the same time, that's not where the future in the industry lies.
No,
it's not. The direct market it hasn't collapsed, and I don't think it'll ever completely collapse, but it is shrinking, and it'll become less and less important to the whole industry, I think, as time goes by.
This is probably a whole other conversation, Rob, but
Sunday show ideal.
A short, a short answer from you. You remember when the comic book industry changed from pretty much newsstand only, maybe not even only, but newsstand mostly, to primarily comic book shops. Do you think that we're in a period in the comic book industry similar to that, where we're going through some kind of change?
I think the phrase is sea change.
Yeah,
I think we're actually in another one of those.
Yeah,
I think it's been in the works. I mean, I've been using Kablam for at least a decade.
Yeah,
and it's easy. And I mean, there were others doing it as well, but Kablam is to use a James Bondish, it's the last rat standing. But I'm sure there will be more, and you can do stuff through Amazon as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I mean, they have Comixology, which is mostly digital, and that's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's global.
But I think that's where it's all
comics
coming to.
Yeah, Global Comics as well. And those guys, they reached
It's
out
like
to Global Comics. What's that?
Oh, it's like Comixology, but actually good for people.
Yeah, Global Comics. Those guys reached out to me probably 2 years ago. We actually several of us in the group, we had a meeting about it. We talked about it, and ultimately we decided that the timing wasn't quite right for us yet for lots of reasons. But they've still been on the radar. I still get messages from the guy. I still maintain a friendly relationship with him. And the
don't burn no bridges.
No, sir.
Burn no bridges, man.
No, sir.
Unless it really needs burning.
No, no. This one
I've
did
had
not
a couple
need to be burned.
that needed some burning, but the best idea is not to burn
few
any.
and I ain't got crap done yet.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, Dave, what about you? You making any appearances or doing anything? Any shows?
No, I am going to San Diego Comic-Con again this year. I was able to get tickets. So I'll be there. I was just at WonderCon, but that's pretty much it. I'm not doing anything, no tables or anything like that. Just like you said before, you were just touring the area.
Yeah.
I typically go to try and support the people I know. So I usually go by and try and hook up with Larry Welch.
Sure.
I try to catch Dave Ulbrich, Tom Mason's panels.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So
we're pals.
Yeah.
Give me the opportunity, Dave, and I'm just going to keep doing this to you, okay? I'm just going to keep doing it. Jose, what about you, my friend? I know you'll be here next week. What's your next show?
It's Free Comic Book Day at my local library. I'm one of the featured artists there. So
cool.
Nice.
Good for you.
Very cool. What about you, Tadpole? Who you crashing next? What screens do you crash? What?
You're calling me Tadpole now.
Tadpole.
Hey, you called me venerable.
I was gonna say, didn't Rob coin that phrase?
No, it was.
Who was that?
Just because they got gray. What's that called?
The goatee.
Yeah, goatees. Doesn't mean they're the same person. Doc and Rob are not the same.
Wow.
But I'll be at my local Free Comic Book Day. I'm probably gonna be on the Madness art stream this.
Are you gonna be able to table at your local comics shop?
Yep.
Nice. So can you tell people where that's out at?
No, it's a local shop in a town.
Yeah, well, we're all doing local shops. So
I've never done a Free Comic Book Day show. Never.
What?
Nope.
Rob, we gotta fix that, man. Why?
Yeah,
not?
and I was thinking about doing it this year, but then the wedding came up. That's going to be on May 6th, so that went down the tubes.
But
So,
you will be at a convention in September.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, and then there's then Planet
Jose's
Comic-Con
like, wait,
next
what?
March.
But
Planet Comic-Con.
Cool.
I'm not in Orlando. I'm in some random small cornfield town where there's a couple thousand people.
So Rob is not in Orlando, and Dave is not in Orlando either.
Guess what? Ever heard of Hallsville, Missouri?
No.
I've been there.
No.
Is that even on a map?
Yeah.
What's it near?
Actually,
It's near Columbia, Missouri. The
Okay, I know
home of University of Missouri.
Sure, I know where Columbia is.
Yeah, most people do.
Rob, do you know
know
where
football,
Piggott, Arkansas
especially.
is?
Where? I'm sorry, what?
Piggott, Arkansas?
Pickett, never been there.
Piggott, Piggott.
Oh, no. So definitely, if I don't even know it's Piggott, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do you know where Kennett, Missouri is? Kennett, Missouri?
Kenton?
Kennett.
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Missouri.
if you find Kennett, Missouri, and then just go across the state line into Arkansas, that's Piggott. That's where my family's from.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Fireman.
I've heard of Kennett.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and I was in Arkansas a couple of weeks ago in
War?
Mountain Home.
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I took the golf team down there to play, and
Cool.
the let's see, the regional championship I think is there again this coming weekend for the guys, and then the following weekend for the women.
Really?
In yeah.
That's a nice place down there.
And I, of course, because I'm in Windy City, I can't take the guys, but the ladies and I, the women and I, we're going back down to Mountain Home, Arkansas, and play some golf at the Big Creek.
Sweet.
Big Creek Golf Course.
Nice. Jose, you were going to say?
Sorry.
No, you're good. I lived for a minute in Hastings, Iowa. So
I know where that is.
I used to have to drive to Council Bluffs and then Omaha, right, Nebraska, in order to buy comics. That was like an hour and some change drive.
Wow. Yeah, just to get comics. Yeah. Now you can order them online.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's how I do it. That's why. See, I don't have a comic shop that I go to here in the area anymore. I get my comics online.
Yeah.
So I don't have a relationship with a local comic shop.
Do you remember Westfield?
That's the problem. That's why I haven't done Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
I work at my local shop. Well, I volunteer there because poor family who spent way too much, and I'll get random crap like this, so they.
Sure. Yeah.
So
hey man, that's volunteer and they give you a discount. Right. That's you get first dibs on a lot of stuff.
Well, you're getting paid, but not, just a little different way. Yeah.
Right.
So you're an intern, is what you are.
That's right.
I need to be a Silverline intern.
Yeah.
You know what? That's an interesting thought there.
Right.
Vic.
Hold on.
We'll have to. We'll have to kick that around.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yep.
What would I do? I have
my
no
coffee
idea.
intern.
Learn.
Coffee, yeah. Learn.
2
there
to
you go.
6 weeks.
All right. So I will be at Coliseum of Comics on Free Comic Book Day. I will be sitting right next to my good buddy Thomas Flormonti. It is my understanding that I think Brent may also be at a different Coliseum of Comics, but he may be at a shop. But Tommy and I will be at Coliseum of Comics on East Colonial Drive on Free Comics Day. And you guys know what to do. Until then, remember to
make mine.
All right. Good night, everybody. Let me find the video here.
I'm April Hunter. Make mine Silverline.
All right.